Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Committed Critics, a pop culture podcast. We're not only committed to our opinions, but also each other. Aww. I'm Kevin Lau.
I'm Ryan Davis.
I'm Zach Wright.
And I'm Jordan Spearman. Hi.
Hey, all four of us. We didn't have all four of us for a while.
It's been a hot
It's
sec.
been a while.
Yeah.
It's been a hot minute.
Yeah, but today we're talking about the show that Ryan challenged you guys to watch. I may have influenced
And
the choice a little
Kevin
bit.
vicariously.
Today we're talking about Arcane Season One, which came out on Netflix in like November 2021.
Was it really November?
Yeah, it was somewhere around.
Yeah.
It was like October or November. It was very late in the
It was
year.
it was both, because it came out in those parts.
Yeah, November.
Yeah, the end of November. Wow.
What would you like
Insane.
at that?
Sorry, I thought it was like sooner.
2015.
No, sorry. Like
No, I
recent,
got you.
like, yeah, 2022 at least.
No, I got you. Oh, like I get what you're saying. No, it's a late 2021 thing.
Crazy.
That's how it's able to win its awards at the moment. Except for unfortunately the Critic Award for Best Animated Show that went to What If instead.
Did it really?
Oh God.
No.
Of
The
course.
Critics Award gave the Best Animated Series to What If.
What
instead
if
of
it's
Arcane.
disgusting? Oh,
Because
I-
Marvel
exactly.
got a Marvel.
Well, no, it's just more like the Critics Award. It's like that's the group of people that like they think animation's for kids, so they just pick like the most kid friendly animation.
Mhm.
So like that's why Encanto, like Disney almost always wins the Oscar for Best Animated Movie because it's the only animated movie the old fogies watch.
yeah. That's right.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Yeah, but enough about that. Let's talk about Arcane. So yeah, Arcane, for those of you who don't know, is a show based on the League of Legends video game, which I want to say
Totally
League of
weird
Legends-
concept. Such a weird concept.
Yeah. I want to say that League of Legends, a game, totally fine, not toxic at all, doesn't promote toxicity or anything like that. League of Legends, the community, terrible place, terrible people.
Terrible. Awful people.
Yeah. Well, I think that's most fandoms, though.
100% most fandoms, but I feel like a lot of people associate the toxicity of League of Legends with the game and not the
Yeah.
community.
Yeah.
But it's 100% the community. The game is fine.
Oh yeah, the game and the developers, because Riot's had some issues in the past.
hmm Yeah, it's a little up in the air with them. But yeah, so I mean, Zach, do you want to go ahead and start off with what you thought of Arcane?
No, I would not, because I echo what you say, Kevin. So I want you to go first.
Jordan can go first. Or
Am I going first?
You can go first.
Yeah.
I
I
just
go
was like,
first?
since
Go ahead.
you guys this is new to you guys, Ryan and I had already seen it.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. So I was thoroughly surprised by how much I actually liked this show. I know nothing about League of Legends. I'm just
That's
gonna
fine.
put that out there.
Yeah.
I know nothing. Never played a
You
game.
don't need to know
Never
anything.
seen anyone play a game. And even though I don't know any of that, I don't really think it played too much into it. But I was still able to enjoy it. And by the end of season one, I wanted to keep watching. I was kind of sad there's only one season.
Yeah.
But I do like the direction that animators are taking animation, especially with a show like this and with Invincible that you guys will talk about later. That has a plot that isn't always funny. You know, like people, when you think of adult animation, you think of like Family Guy or South Park and like the
Right.
more of like comedic ones, more 2D. And that's just not my cup of tea. I've never really liked stuff like that. So I think this is cool to see kind of more of a dramatic animation for adults being taken. And it's not perfect, but I would say it's pretty dang close. And I don't think there's an intro to a show that goes harder than this one. So I gave it a 4.5 out of 5.
Wait till you watch anime.
No.
I know, right? That's what I was about to say.
Some of those intros slap.
Side note about that. During the beginning of quarantine, Ryan made us, me, Zach, and a couple of our roommates watch anime openings and guess what the show was about. I was pretty good at it.
It was a really good game we did.
It was a really fun
okay.
game. So I have heard some of them, but I don't know.
We should do that for the show at some
point.
point.
I agree. That would be a fun
fun.
game.
All right. Well, Ryan, did you rewatch it for this episode, or are you going by your first watch?
I rewatched it, yeah.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
What are your thoughts?
Okay, so here's the thing. I rarely binge watch a show. So my first time watching this, I watched it in literally like almost a day. I had to take a break because I started it late at night, and I'm like, all right, let me just see what this is about, and I had to stop. Of course, on the worst episode to stop on was a very bad cliffhanger. But yeah, I wish I had seen the whole thing after it was released, because this is the best show of 2021 to me.
Okay.
Sorry, Squid Game. Sorry, whatever else came out in 2021. I don't remember, but this was the best. This was the best show to me that came out in 2021 because the story, the animation, the entire soundtrack, which I have listened to at least once a week, like since watching the series.
Ryan, how many times have you listened to that while working out?
Oh, very much. It's like most of that soundtrack
it's
is
a
on
good
my
workout
playlist.
soundtrack for sure.
Oh yeah, I listened to Enemy like tons of times while I've been working out the last couple weeks for sure.
It was like Enemy, Misfit Toys, anything that was playing with Echo or Vi in a fight is probably on my workout playlist. So
Fair enough.
Yeah, fair.
yeah, but no, when I finished the show, I literally was like, I want to rewatch that all over again, and I felt empty after finishing this. Like, I was like, what do I do with my life now?
Oh yeah,
But
it's like that meme of like the guy that just stands at like 4 different locations staring out at like staring out into nothing.
I literally just sat down. Like after it finished, I just sat on my couch for like 30 minutes. I was like, what do I do now?
That's hilarious.
And I just did that for 30 minutes. Just sat there and I was like, what do I do? But
So
yeah,
Ryan,
I give the
what'd
show
you give it?
6 out of 5.
Whoa.
I know
It got
people have
extra
problems
credit
with
points for Ryan.
No, man.
I know I know it has issues, but like here's the thing: those issues don't really matter to me.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
like
fair.
this is phenomenal. Like this is what I've always wanted. So
For sure.
yeah,
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So
Kevin?
I'm just basing it by my first watch, which I watched it back in December, I believe, shortly after all the episodes were released. But yeah, Arcane, as we were talking about, is kind of like what the animation community has been wanting from American animation. Between both this and Invincible, 2021 has been a huge step in how American society has been accepting animation as a
Right.
medium instead of a children-centric genre. Obviously, as we talk about like with award shows and critics, like it's still not fully accepted in that regards yet, but like as far as like producing goes and distribution, it's taken more seriously. Like even anime anime movies are being released in movie theaters. Obviously, I think it's more of a money thing than like an actual appreciation thing, but still, it's like it's becoming more accepted in our culture, which I think is fantastic.
Yeah, for sure.
It obviously the show is not perfect. I think there's a subplot that can be trimmed down significantly. But other than that, it handles the story with care, and I think that's really what we need from animation, which is people who care about the story and tell the story the way they want it to be told. And with if we take animation more seriously as a medium, we can tell more serious and dramatic stories with very like visual expressions as well. I'm trying to think of like the way to phrase it, but like, just more visually dynamic than live action dramas. Not that there's anything wrong with live action, but it's like there's a whole lot of untapped potential with animation still that I want to see more of.
Well, you can do so much more with animation, right? Like you can make crazy different formats, different like designs, environments, characters, and you can like just putting a human in a wig and makeup. Like, yeah,
exactly.
Hollywood
I mean,
makeup
like
you can do a lot, but like a computer
I know
can do
Ryan.
much more.
I know Ryan knows the show, but do you guys know The Amazing World of Gumball?
Yeah.
Yeah, so like I love that show purely even just for like visual standpoint because it combines so many mediums together, and it's still an animated show and on a TV show budget too. Like that's pretty solid.
Right, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
What about you, Zach?
I mean, I echo what all three of you have said. More specifically, Kevin. I really like how it managed to push the animation genre forward in a more serious format, a mature format. It's more of a well-crafted story. It really takes these characters from a video game who really don't have any, like they have a lot of lore, but you don't really see them in the game, like go through this lore because it's a MOBA game. And it's just really like a top down. You can kind of see their like animation, but you don't see their faces. You don't see what their like motivations are, all that stuff.
They don't have, there's no like real dialogue exchange or anything like that.
Right. It's just mindless. It's just make cool characters and have different abilities. That's really all it is. and like the lure is super rich, and that's what they took this show to do. I would be interested to see like what like if they eventually make an Overwatch show, if they can do it in this kind of style. I think that would be like interesting because the animation for Overwatch is really, really good, and it is honestly more compelling than the game itself.
Right.
Again,
and like their short films for Overwatch are pretty good too. But like,
for sure.
Arcane has really set the bar.
Yeah.
My biggest gripe for any video game is when they make trailers like that look amazing, and it's like, oh man, this would be really cool as a show or something. And then the game is just like, yeah, you just gotta fight people for like 20 minutes or until you reach the checkpoint.
Yeah.
Or
It's all
Yeah,
first
it's like
person.
you mean like every Blizzard game?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'm just like,
and
All
Blizzard
Blizzard
owns
trailers
it.
look so good, and then like you play the game, you're like, all right, fine.
Yeah, and it's Blizzard has its own issues going on right now with Activision and all that jazz. So I really don't care
Oh,
to see anything Overwatch related. What?
they've got so many issues.
Oh yeah.
They got so many issues.
Yeah. But yeah, no, Arcane does everything perfectly, takes the characters and really puts a really good spin on it. I think it does what Invincible not tried to do. Like, I think it just does what Invincible does, just a little bit better, a little bit faster. But yeah,
I
4 out
did
of 5
like
for me.
I think you say faster. Like Invincible is one episode less.
Not faster,
Arcane.
sorry. Like,
No, I get what you're
better,
saying.
faster,
It's more
stronger, like, yeah, the Kanye song.
It's like it's
Oh,
more
no.
it's more approachable than Invincible, I think.
Yeah.
I
I think that's what
mean,
maybe that's what you're getting at.
No, I
I
just
do
think
like,
it's better. And I was using different synonym for better. Sorry.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I did like Jordan's. She put this in our tech, but it's La Pinocho. But
It is. Tell me it's
I was
not.
like,
Tell me
no,
it's
it
not.
is. Like it 100% is.
You're not wrong.
I was like, I can't
La
get that out of my
Pinocho
head now,
tells a
'cause I'm
story in
like-
20 minutes. So, and whereas Arcane has 9 45-minute episodes, so I can't really say one's better than the other at the moment.
I mean, Arcane's definitely better, but concept is still similar.
Two sisters.
It's just
Divided by opposing sides.
I mean, like you got the whole two brothers storyline. Time to flip it, really.
exactly.
Yes.
We should gender flip more things.
Yeah.
So one thing you liked about Arcane, and this is now spoiler territory for anyone who hasn't watched Arcane yet, which if you want to watch it, it's on Netflix. We highly recommend watching it in trilogies, so 3
Yes.
episodes at a time, because that's how the story was designed to be watched. So there you go. But Ryan, you want to kick us off? One thing you liked?
This is gonna sound very bad, but Echo was the best part of the show for me. Like he's only in it for one episode, but well, I was just like, yeah, this stereotype. I know he's the one black character in the entire show, but
No, he's not.
but
There's others.
I mean, no, there's others, but
but he's the only
okay.
like main character that's black.
besides Medarda.
Yeah, there you go.
But no, like Echo came in for literally one episode and just stole. Like he's in other episodes, but in episode 7, he steals the entire episode from beginning to end.
Mhm.
Like, I did like the fight between him and Jinx, best fight in the entire series for me. Because it shows literally their entire. It feels like you watch their entire history, like what could have been like a whole episode or a flashback. It's literally just put in the 2 minutes. The kind of relationship the two of them had, from when they were little kids, and how Echo's able to like read Jinx's movements from how they used to play and adapt to it, which is, from what I understand, supposed to be a hint at, or not a hint, but like a homage to Echo's time powers from the actual League of Legends game.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But it's done in a more creative way that makes it make more sense for the series. But overall, like he stole that entire.
Well, I think
series
that
from
little
me.
animation sequence when they're fighting on the bridge and it cuts that different animation style, I think that was indicative of his like. It's like a possibility. He was like not seeing into the future. I don't know what Echo's power set is in League at all. I'm just spitballing
Basically,
here.
it's just time
He
prediction.
literally just rewinds
Oh, then time prediction. Yeah, so like he can see into the future, so he sees all the moves that Jinx can do in that little like animation sequence, and then it plays out for real, and he takes that information and uses it, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm also happy they changed his design for this show. 'Cause
Yeah.
the design in League is terrible.
I actually haven't seen his design in the League game.
I'm looking it up.
Imagine like a mohawk, but it's like 3 feet tall.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's the same in Runeterra then. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
I see.
it's his design in League is awful
Oh.
compared, and I'm like, thank God this show cleaned him up because
Yeah, that's fair.
he looked a lot better. But yeah,
Okay. How about you, Zach? What's one thing you liked?
I really enjoyed Arcane structure. I think it works so well. I think a lot more shows should do a 9-episode arc or structure instead of a 10-episode run or
Yeah.
like a mini series style. I think this works really well with how the episodes were 45 minutes. I usually like episodes to be a little more on the shorter side, around 30, but I mean, 45 was still like plenty of time and it didn't feel super long. The pacing was just super well done because of the structure. Yeah, game changing. It makes the pacing sound. I loved how the animation and art direction is used to elevate that story and characters. Every time I think about Arcane, I just think of like Arcane, Arc, Blue, and like the little tiny crystals. Like I love how like those little aspects
Yeah.
trigger different details for me. And I think that's so super cool. The story between Vi and Jinx is amazing. I really like that. I wish it was explored a little more. Yeah, super well done.
What about you, Jordan?
So I would agree with Zach on the structure. We watched one episode first, and then
Yes.
then we talked about it, and then you guys were like, "No, do it as a trilogy." So I definitely really liked that. And I liked how part 1 ended, and then part 2 was however many years into the future, and we really saw how much these characters have grown. I thought that was I was hoping that's what they would do, and then I was so glad when it actually happened. I was like, "Oh shit, here we go."
It's like it's like I don't want them to be kids for the entire show.
Yeah, because here's the thing. I get so annoyed with animated kids.
Fair
I
enough.
absolutely hated Aang in the first season of Avatar: The Last Airbender. Absolutely hated him.
I mean, yeah. I mean, Avatar has a lot of issues.
So
Writing
hang on,
issues.
real quick. I need to call this because Ryan, you have the same issues too. Like you hate kids and like little kids.
in most movies and TV series, yes, kids get very annoying very fast, especially.
So how did you not
some,
get
like,
annoyed with Powder?
Powder? Because I was like, this girl, I fell for her. I was like, all right, yeah, she's clumsy, she messes things up, and everyone hates her. But I'm like, she's trying her best. She wants to be like her sister, and so she's doing like she literally is doing everything she can to prove, hey, I'm just as good as the other kids. And then she fucks up and it gets everyone killed. And I was like, damn, I feel for her. And then Silco, God, fucking Silco is amazing.
I mean, like it's a very common thing because like most of the time, kid characters are very like underwritten. They're there to just kind of like fill a space, and like they don't really have like any motivations or like reactions to the world around them. Thankfully with Arcane, like when they're the first 3 episodes when they're kids, they are actual characters interacting with the world.
Right.
But yeah, go ahead, Jordan, go ahead.
Okay. So yeah, I'm not a fan of animated children. But it was cool to see how much they actually like have grown. And I liked too that it wasn't kind of going off what you said, Kevin. I liked how it wasn't, like, oh, they're just kids being kids and then just wait until they grow up. Like, no, that was like, they were actually characters in this. And I really liked that. Also, can we just say there are so many badass women in this show? Like,
Yep.
holy crap. Oh my God. Between just like Vi beating the shit out of everyone, Powder / Jinx being like so tech savvy and gadgety, tinkery, there we go. And then like even Savika and Caitlyn, I was like, yes, this is what we need. And then even like
I love Caitlyn.
Yeah.
Like it was just so cool to see like all of these women being able to do different things too. Like it wasn't just they were all like good at one thing. So I really liked that. And I do want to reiterate the opening theme. Okay, I am not like ashamed to say I'm a huge Imagine Dragons fan. I saw them live. It was amazing.
Fair enough. I hear they have really good stage presence.
They do. It was an amazing show. And they may just be like a group of generic looking white guys, but honestly, sometimes when they make a song, most of the time it hits. Like Believer is also a very good example of this. And I don't know. Good for them. I don't think they needed to be in the show. It was probably in their contract, but
that was
a little weird. Yeah,
that
was
was
look past
super
it.
weird.
They just show up. They had the music video. If you've seen the music video for Enemy, it's also pretty interesting because their animated characters are also in that as well.
Gotcha.
And it's interesting.
It just really was weird to have the band in the show, like anime. I'm like, okay, this is a little off-putting.
Also, Jordan, I have to ask, on the badass women, how did you feel about Medarda's mom just coming into the city?
She was a little off-putting at first, but then when she was naked and just stood up in front of Jace, I was like, "You go, girl!" Like that is a power
I'm here
move.
to sample. I'm here to sample the meat.
I know. I was like, you know what? Good for you. I'm not gonna think about it.
Good for her.
Kevin, what about you?
Yeah, I mean, kind of like we kind of talked about it already, but like out of the entire cesspool of League of Legends lore, they could adapt. I'm glad they picked the best one to start with, which is the sisterhood between Vi and Jinx. Like, you may not get it from like the League of Legends main game, but like the card game spinoff, Legends of Runeterra, it is kind of like the story of that game is kind of still like the main story is like between Vi and Jinx still. It's not like super story based game though. It's just you got side stories once in a while, but like it's the most interesting one. It's the most interesting side story outside of with Echo's personal journey being the second most interesting. But like, you know, when you have two characters, like you really like to make a show run, you need two characters, and I'm glad they picked these two characters to run the entire show. And I just can't wait to see where it goes.
Yeah, awesome.
I do have to ask, how do you feel about that last 10th scene in like the last 10 minutes of the series?
It's a season finale for sure.
Definitely.
That had me on the edge of my seat.
Yeah, I was like, okay. When I cut to credits, I was like, damn it, I knew that was gonna happen.
Yeah.
I was like, it's like such, I'm a little sour on it, but it's all right.
I mean, that's how they get you.
Yeah, it is.
Cliffhanger.
And on that note, we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we'll talk about one thing we didn't quite like and also our final thoughts on Arcane. See you in a bit.
Hey everybody, my name is Jordan, and you've probably heard me on an episode or two, but did you know I also have a baking channel? Bluebell Bake is by the amateur baker for the amateur baker. On the channel, I'll be posting recipes, tips and tricks, and more so we can all learn to better our baking skills. You can find my channel on YouTube at Bluebell Bake, we're currently posting monthly, or on Instagram and TikTok, both at bluebell.bake. Come join our little community where no matter what happens, we keep on baking.
Don't you wish there was a pop culture review site that appealed to cinephiles, both professional and casual? Well, look no further than crprights.com. New content such as movie and TV reviews, film essays, and more are released every week by writers who crave for movies like every moviegoer craves for popcorn. CRP Rights is dedicated to making sure no one is wasting time or money where they shouldn't be. After all, you have to be able to buy your popcorn and eat it too. crprights.com. Casual reviews with purpose since 2018.
And welcome back to Community Critics as we continue to talk about Arcane and one thing we didn't quite like about the show, because nothing is perfect. We always have to critique one thing. But Ryan, what's one thing you didn't quite like about Arcane?
It was kind of that. I mean, like, here's the thing. I enjoy pretty much most of the show. There's not too much, but like Jason Heimerdinger being very fickle throughout the show, and I know that's supposed to be like their whole like, hey, progress is good, but don't push it too far. But like, it's literally like 1 minute Jason's like, we shouldn't build weapons. Like, weapons are not what Hex Tech is meant for. And then the next minute he's like, no, we need to like go to war, wipe out this like corruption and all that. And then as soon as like he does that, then he's like, actually, I think this is a terrible idea. We should not have made these weapons in the first place. And it's just that goes on for most of his story. And I can't tell if Medarda is supposed to be manipulating him to be evil or good. It's a weird thing.
I mean, also manipulating to just create weapons because there's money to be made with weapons. That's pretty much it.
That's what it felt like, but it was like nobody was really good or evil, I guess. Like, because even like Victor, like everything he was doing, they tried to make it seem like, oh, some of it's evil. But I'm like, I don't know. Like, the dude's just trying to fix his legs. He's dying. I feel sorry for Sky. She didn't deserve that, but you know,
that was rough.
Yeah.
Oof.
I was like, I felt sorry, but also, shout out to this group who watched Arcane. I follow them, but your boy Roshi, their commentary on all the gloves and lasers, like, yeah, this is totally going to be used for mining.
Mhm.
These can't be used as weapons at all. Why would I ever use these giant gloves that have like supercharged pistons from
And they look
anything other than
eerily
mining?
similar to Vi's dad's that she used.
Right, I was like, yeah, it's totally a good idea to have these. I'm like, we're gonna only use these for good.
Yeah.
But
What
Kevin,
about you, Jordan? Oh,
Kevin,
I guess
need you
I'll
to
go first.
Damn it.
Okay.
I agree with you.
I'll go last. Go ahead, Kevin.
okay. So one thing I didn't like about Arcane is that Jace's story always felt like it was taking too much time away from Vi and Jinx.
Yeah.
Maybe that speaks to like how good Vi and Jinx's story is, but I think it also like reflects how kind of underdeveloped I felt Jace's story was, considering where it ends up. It's a good subplot, definitely. Like I was definitely interested in it. It helped build the world a bit more, but it just could have been trimmed down, probably like half the runtime.
I agree with Kevin. The Jace subplot takes a little bit too long for where it ends up at. I do like the political intrigue of it, like how a good man has to deal with the corruption of his progress, right, and how he can get lost and all. So like when Ryan was saying how he's very like fickle and how he's like, let's not build weapons and let's build weapons. It's just him changing. It's his perspective being not altered, but like he's changed. Like, oh my God, like maybe we do need to go to war. We do need to take out the Undercity because they are like, they're taking out our enforcers. Like Marcus just died. And then like he kills a kid. It's like, oh, okay, never mind. Bad idea. Like I regret this. Like it makes sense for where he's coming from. So I didn't mind that too much. Heimerdinger got what he got. Like he got like, he deserved what was coming to him because of just how he couldn't like take a stand. Very sad. Felt very bad for him, just how cute he looks.
I know.
What a little guy.
I was like, Jordan's gonna fall in love with Heimerdinger.
And his little pet. Oh.
Yeah. From where Jace's story ends, though, I agree with you, Kevin. It could definitely have been simplified. I also kind of wish they would have did a little more setup with the firelights in Echo. I feel like they just kind of show up in that third act arc. Like they just kind of like, hi, firelights, and we're like, oh, who are these third party? You know. I
mean, maybe it's like the sorry,
What?
no, I mean to interrupt. Maybe it's like the Infinity Train structure where like the next season will be focused on Echo and the firelights, maybe.
Oh, is it?
I
Oh,
see.
that could be cool. Yeah. I do love what they represent, but like I said, they just kind of show up. I wish it was kind of like a slow burn from like the middle of arc 2 into arc 3. But yeah, no, I agree. That's about it.
I think they were just supposed to be like a rebel group. Like you just don't know if they're like good, bad, whatever. They just exist.
Right, and I think they could have taken some time from like instead of focusing on too much on Jace's story, be like, hey, Silco's also dealing with this other group of rebels instead of just the Undercity. Like he's trying to like maintain his control over the Overcity and like it's kind of or Undercity and just kind of is just in the background. It's not like at the forefront.
Yeah, I think they were just trying to hide the reveal of Echo, but I get what you mean.
Yeah,
like
because
they
like
done
it was
a little bit more with it.
We talked about it before before the show started, and it was kind of like, oh, like I'm like, who is this guy? Who does it have to be? I was like, oh, is it Echo? And he takes his mask off, and it's Echo. I'm like, oh, okay, there it is. I do wish we got a little bit more of Vi and Jinx. I feel like their story was like you just wanted to have them meet again. That's all you wanted. It was like such a slow burn and such like a tease. It's like, oh my God, and then we finally meet again. It's like not as satisfying. So there's another like climax to their story coming at some point. Just we have to wait for it.
It's not over. That's for sure.
For sure. Yeah.
Psycho Jinx on drugs is terrifying.
For
I
sure.
don't even know. Does she have superpowers or something? No, I don't
Probably.
know.
Not necessarily. She is just
Enhanced.
She's just very intelligent and very good at engineering.
I just meant like with that last scene where she was dodging bullets.
Yeah, well, now she has Shimmer.
Oh, true. Yeah.
Shimmer.
Yeah.
We'll find
Jordan?
out.
So I think we all kind of agree on this one. Like, I wish we would have seen less of Jace's story and more of the Firelights and Echo story, or even Caitlyn's story. I did like the reveal of Echo, and even like the fight between him and Jinx is phenomenal. But like Zach said, it would have been cool to see more of their story and kind of like how the community was built in a time of addiction and poverty. Or like, you know, even seeing more of Caitlyn growing up and kind of defying her mom's wishes of becoming the next counselor and fitting more into that high society instead of being a cop. I will say though that like having that like us, the audience in the dark a little kind of helped us relate more to Vi, who was kind of learning all the changes at the same time that we were. So it was kind of cool to go on that journey with her and see what she was doing. Because I mean, she was in prison all that time, so she didn't know like what was going on. She didn't know that was going to be Echo. She didn't know where Jinx was or that she was Jinx. So I thought that was really cool to kind of go on that journey with her. Can I also just say on a side note, and I know I'm talking to you three men, but like,
Oh no.
Jace's character was hot, right? Like, can we all agree?
Yeah, he was pretty Shrek.
Who?
Jace.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He was no animated man needs to be that attractive.
Well, I mean,
I mean,
Jordan's like the smelting scene.
it was that. It was.
yeah, that's what she's talking
There was
about,
there was a very long period of both
Those
Jace
arms.
and Medarda having sex while Victor's, I don't know, blood sex with the machine thing. Whatever that scene was.
that was weird. That was weird.
I was
It
like,
was
am I tripping
something.
right now?
nah, we can all agree.
Okay, cool.
Can we talk about Caitlyn and Vi real fast?
Ooh.
Oh yeah.
Oh, hot.
I can't spoil it. I mean, Zach already told you before because there's some people who kind of like completely misinterpreted like the relationship between Vi and Caitlyn. I'm like, you don't know what it's building up to. You don't know.
I was like, I figured it as soon as they went to the brothel. I was like, all right, so they're gonna end up together or whatever.
Mhm.
And then it was like, especially when Jinx had the whole cupcake thing, that was.
People were like, oh, like Vi just really likes Caitlyn because she reminds her of her sister. I'm like, no.
No, no.
That's not how it works.
So does this make you want to play League of Legends? I think we kind of already answered this.
Absolutely not.
Whoa. Excuse me. I did play League of Legends after watching this show. I did re-download it and
And you didn't invite me?
I did re-download it and play it for a little bit.
Okay.
Just a little bit. I forgot how much I hated how long those games can be.
Oh yeah.
But if they were to make an MMO or RPG or something, I think that would be better for League. Especially with all the lore, create your own character, live in this world. But the current League formula is just very much, you got characters who beat each other with superpowers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Some have magic, some have technology, some have sticks. But it all works out somehow.
I mean,
I'm trying to look up League of Legends games.
I agree.
There's multiple.
I agree with Ryan though. I think an RPG or a different like single player kind of game in this world, like call Arcane game or something like that. I don't know. It works a lot better for me than a MOBA. I hate MOBAs. Ever since like growing up, I played a lot of Smite in middle school into high school.
Yeah.
Awful,
Smite.
hated it. So I was so bad at it. It was, and no one like taught me how to play it. It's terrible.
What's MOBA?
Oh
It's a
God. Something battle
Multiplayer
arena.
online battle arena.
Basically, two groups of people charge at each other and try to do stuff.
Like a mosh pit, but video games?
No, I'll look it up for you. Hang on.
It's like
Well,
they
Yeah,
so,
essentially like
League
how it's like soccer. You try to get to the other person's goal.
Yep.
So it's like that, but it's like two teams trying to destroy the other person's base.
Yeah.
Yeah, see,
Oh, like Clash of
two
Clans.
teams try to.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Except
Ew,
you don't
no.
build stuff and pay real. You don't build stuff in a really terrible way.
It's more chaos and people they cuss at you a lot because.
Okay,
you
so-
know,
According to Wikipedia, in 2021 there was a League of Legends game called Ruined King, which is a 2021 turn-based role-playing game. It was released
I'm
for
good.
PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X, and Nintendo Switch, and Windows. Interesting.
I'll just say, considering the games that I play, I think I'm good.
You do not need to play League of Legends.
No.
I would also, I mean, like when it comes to multi-player online battle arenas, I think League of Legends is still like the best of what it does. But like, it's one of those games where it's like, once in a great while there will be an update where everything is balanced and plays really well, and then like literally the update after that, it's like it's terrible. Then they got to do a whole bunch of recalculations and updates before it gets balanced again.
Well, just the meta, it becomes meta, and like it becomes the right thing to use. Like everyone's using the same exact items and weapons, and just doesn't fun anymore. Yeah, it's
exactly. It's I mean, if you have five like five people together, and then like you just want to kill some time, totally fun to do that. It's not like it's still not, I wouldn't call it a must play. If you want League of Legends lore but without the toxicity, you can play Legends of Runeterra, which is a card game based on League of Legends. There are there's actual campaign modes where you do get some side stories from the universe.
Nice.
It's free to play. You get a lot of free stuff pretty quickly, so you can build decks, pretty good decks early on. But I understand the card games are not for everyone, so that's it's an option out there.
Fair enough. All right. Well, final thoughts.
Final thoughts. Zach?
Yeah. I'm cool. No, I should have waited. I had one of you guys go. Kevin, just do yourself first next time. Jesus.
I'll do it. Okay. I'm trying to be courteous.
I appreciate it. Courteous, I built off my entire script on you.
No. I'd be down for this being a pseudo anthology series with like each season kind of focusing on a different main cast, but still having like a focus on Vi and Jinx. Like Vi and Jinx are always like the main characters of this season, but like each subplot, like season 1, Jace was the subplot. Now season 2, someone else could be the subplot, and so on and so forth. Kind of build the world out more. Because I think like Jace's story, like it can be on pause for a little bit, or at least like it's more intertwined with what Vi and Jinx are doing.
I feel like it's definitely paused right now.
Yeah. So I just want to. I would be interested in seeing that, but also if it just continues like how it's been doing for season 1, like that's totally fine too.
Yeah.
What about you, Ryan?
I agree with the whole pseudo anthology series, but I also wouldn't mind if if we eventually wrap up Vi and Jinx story before branching out to other stuff, like just finish everything up in Piltover and whatever really is connected there, or we branch out during their story and incorporate like the rest of the world. Because if we were to have like Vi and Jinx like leave the world, or we like have Medarda's family get involved in stuff or anything like that, I just want to see like other elements of the rest of the League world affect Piltover. Also, I cannot wait for the season 2 soundtrack because that's gonna be great.
Get American authors for the season 2 theme. I would die.
Jesus. I'm really cool with Arcane focusing on the current characters we have. I like the array of characters we have. I feel we start looking into other characters in Link's huge array, it'll kind of get stale. Like it might become like, oh, okay, what's this season about? Okay, it'll go on for season after season. I kind of want Arcane to have an ending, just because I want to see Vine stories wrapped up. I want to have a resolution to them. I think if anything, that I just make it like a different like spin-off series. So like Arcane is focused on like Vi, Jace, Jinx, all them, and then do like a separate series that's like a spin-off series for like a different set of characters. Maybe like showing like Medarda's mother coming over from before, like have season 1 be like of her, that series be before she comes to Piltover at the end, or
even just different regions as well,
or the different worlds, like the Piltover and the different like worlds and regions.
Yeah, Freljord, you got Bridgewater, all that stuff,
right? Like Arcane could just be the Piltover like story, right? But yeah, like I said, I really want a resolution to this and ending to the stories that we have set up right now. I really don't want to focus on other characters just quite yet.
Cool. How about you, Jordan?
I like the idea of keeping the same story with the same characters and having an ending. I would not mind, though, like Zach was just saying, like seeing some spin-off series. I do think like maybe having a semi like kind of prequel thing. So like more about Vander and Silco and how they kind of grew up more and stuff like that. Like even stuff about Vander before he finds Vi and then Powder. I'd like to see more of what it was like before that big war. Like kind of seeing like what made them divide in the first place. Like it was probably poverty and stuff, but like with Arcane, it was more about with Shimmer, but now like what was it before Shimmer? So I think that would be kind of cool to explore in a separate series.
I agree. Cool. All right.
On that note, thank you, Ryan, for picking this as the challenge for us. I am glad that we all enjoyed it. Now, it's my turn to pick the next thing to watch. I'm going to start off with like, you changed my notes. It's not Matrix 2. It's not Matrix 4. It's a little, I think something, a good movie to kick off our summer, which is, have any of you not seen Jaws?
Oh, I've not seen Jaws.
I've seen
Jaws.
bits and pieces.
Okay. So Ryan, you have seen Jaws.
I saw Jaws. I got to see Jaws in person too.
Oh.
Wait, what?
Like at
The ride?
Universal.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
Universal.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. So Jaws is going to be our next movie to watch.
Sweet.
It says it's not, looks like it's not streaming anywhere, but I'll give you guys access because I have the Blu-ray. I can just let you guys borrow.
I could find it at
But-
the library too, Kevin. We're good.
That's true. Yeah. But Jaws is 1975, directed by Steven Spielberg. Honestly, one of the best works of directing I've seen in a movie, and
nice.
can't wait to go over it with you guys. And on that note, if you want to hear the rest of our thoughts on other topics, tune into our full episode over on Patreon, linked below in the description. Just $5 a month for access to that. But there are also tiers for like $1 and $2 a month if you want more different bonus content. You can follow us on Twitter at Committed Chris, COMMITTEDCRITS, on YouTube, Committed Critics, TikTok at Committed Critics, and special thanks to our current patrons, Davey Peppers from Game Mechanics, Ryan Kolwakowski from Ryan Plays Drums, Andy Phillips from Andy Phillips, Jody Wright, and Devin Vonderhyde. And we'll see you in 2 weeks. Bye.